Ernstis, the first baseman, was stellar.
And Paige Ernstis hasn't got a ton of starts this year, but 5 RBIs with only 6 RBIs coming into this game. She did her big one yesterday, putting a few runs up on the board. They're going to look to her for some more offensive production in today's game. Erickson has also been a force in the box. Just crossed 200 RBIs, top 6 in program history, of huge bat for the Florida Gators, and also looking to her to create a ton of offensive production for the Gators.
The Gators in the circle, turning to that righty ace, Keegan Rothrock.
Rothrock has just been a staple in the circle for the Florida Gators for years now. The undisputed ace, mid to high 60s. We know her for throwing gas, but also throws that rise at 2 levels. And location is going to be critical, but she did a really good job on Friday night, only limiting 3 passes to 1.
For Mississippi State, Nadia Barbary was also a big factor yesterday. Had a 2-run blast in that game.
Barbary is one that you would circle in the lineup, but with how yesterday went, I probably would circle everybody at this point, but a phenomenal game by Barbary.
Off we go. First pitch is in for a strike from Rothrock at 70, and we are underway. Umpiring crew for this one, Kiara Sells is up at the plate in this moment. Lyndon Baptiste is behind home. Chad Steers is at first. Perry Owens is at third. Rothrock's 0-1 pitch. Wanders high, more velocity from Rothrock. It's 1-1. Kiara Sells, 12 home runs this year. Mississippi State's best in the order. Has moved into this leadoff spot as of late. 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike.
Sells has been extremely steady for this Mississippi State lineup, and that's part of the reason why she switched to leadoff. Getting a leadoff hit in both games so far this series.
2-1. Sells pounds this in the air to center. It's Taylor Shoemaker right up against the warning track who makes the squeeze. It's a different look for Florida defensively today, as Taylor Shoemaker is playing in center field. Townsend Thomas, who had been the everyday center fielder, is in left. Ella Wesolowski, who has played some outfield, including at her former stop at Mississippi State, is in right field. That is because Florida will give Ava Brown her first start since she went down with injury in late February. First to Stiles, second up for Mississippi State. Distribute to strike, it's 0-1.
I think at this point, Coach Wallin is just trying to find the defensive, or excuse me, the best offensive makeup that he can have in a lineup for some run production. And Ava's been a huge part of that in her career, so it's nice to have her back.
1-1 as that goes outside. Silent leader is Morgan Stiles up the plate facing Keegan Rothrock. Had formerly been the leadoff hitter, but was moved down, create a little bit more traffic for her and some of these bigger swingers in the Mississippi State order. 1-1. Low, 2 balls and a strike. Stiles number 10 in Softball America's shortstop rankings last month. Moved over from second base to shortstop this year. 2-1 to Stiles. Waves on that one, 2-2. Rothrock's second start of the weekend got the nod on Friday, and the eventual win in a pitching duel, 2-2. Stiles takes ball 3 inside. Keegan Rothrock, 7th in program history for career wins, surpassing Delaney Gorley with a win on Friday night. 67. Payoff pitch to Stiles. Check swing, and she wins. It's strike 3. Mississippi State doesn't like the call. Do not believe that Stiles went around.
It's a nice curveball by Rothrock. You could definitely see that Stiles broke her wrist on that. Back crosses the plate.
Rothrock 2 up, 2 down to begin the game. Anna Carter to the plate. First pitch, she swings away into shallow left. Thomas has got it, and Rothrock faces the minimum in the away first. Gators trying to get their offense going in the home half of the inning to start this Sunday matinee between Florida and Mississippi State. To the plate for the first time today, and the first time that Ava Brown has been in the starting lineup since she was carted off the field with injury in the game against Cal back on February 26th. A major get back for the Orange and Blue.
Ava Brown is so pivotal for this lineup, but also in the circle for the Florida Gators, and I know that they're happy to have her back, be able to create some offensive production.
Taylor Shoemaker will lead off, one of the big factors for Florida offensively. Into the home first we go. That's outside of the first 1-0. Layla Amon gets the start for Mississippi State in the circle.
Layla Amon, not as many innings as the other two in that three-headed monster, but has an ERA of .8 under 1. Really, really good. She's going to have a different look. Still throw that drop at 2 levels, which is dirty, but a changeup in any count. Some mix of speeds and has really late break through the zone.
This 2-0 is in there for a strike, 2-1. Third different arm off this pitching staff Florida has seen this weekend. Taylor Shoemaker 2 for 5 in this series with an RBI. We'll see a 2-1. It's 3-1.
It's already tough to get adjusted to pitchers like Gould and Faircloth, but having to see another arm, a different arm, has its other challenges.
3-1 pitch. It's outside, and a leadoff walk for Taylor Shoemaker to start Florida's day at the plate. But that's a huge factor for Mississippi State, is how deep this staff is, one of the best in the SEC by ERA.
Yeah, and they're bringing... The thing is, I would rather step in the box against Velo than pitchers who can move the ball and make the ball dance. And all 3 of their pitchers bring something different and have a ton of movement, which is extremely tough to hit and has proven to be throughout the course of this weekend.
Jocelyn Erickson up for Florida. Had a 3-run blast yesterday to help the Gators trying to rally. 0-1. And it's quickly 0-2.
And in saying that, when you're facing Velo, you don't really have a lot of time to think.
The Bulldogs pitching staff, the numbers really tell the story. One of only 2 teams with over 300 strikeouts. It's 0-2, rung her up, but quick disposal of one of Florida's best hitters.
That has to give you some confidence. Amon, that drop ball, just finding the top of the zone. It doesn't really do too much, but it just kind of hangs there at the top and gets Jossie to second guess.
First pitch to Kenley Cahalan, who's rolled foul up at first.
And that side angle, it kind of looked like it crossed a little high, but from center field, it looks like a decent pitch, but that's what you're going to get out of her is, like I said before, that drop at 2 levels. She's able to throw it for a strike, but also get it for a chase.
On an 0-1. Up and away, ball and a strike. Kenley Cahalan, as of late, has been swinging the bat really well for Florida. Her numbers were already up this season. In her last 10 games, has hit 4 home runs. That's the most of anybody on this team in that stretch. 1-1 pitch. Cahalan slices it past Stiles into left center field. Long roll to the wall. Shoemaker green light at third. Relay to the plate is not in time. Florida grabs their first run off a double from Kenley Cahalan.
Cahalan has been a beast. This ball left over the plate, and she takes full advantage into left center field. Shoemaker's speed just gets her all the way from first to home. Gators are on the board, and this is exactly how they want to come in this first inning.
Madison Walker to the plate and a runner at third after the throw home win error. 49th RBI for Kenley Cahalan. That ties a single season high for her. And up opportunity for Madison Walker to bring her in from third base. 1-0. Walker takes a strike.
Cahalen's one of those players that you know what you're going to get out of her. I remember playing at Florida, and Coach Wallen was like, you don't want to be a jelly bean, hard on the outside, soft on the inside. You want to be a Jolly Rancher, hard through and through. You know what you're going to get out of them, and that's somebody like Cahalen.
Strike there, 1 and 2. Do you have a favorite flavor of Jolly Rancher?
I do, cherry.
I'm partial to the grape myself.
That's grape?
Yeah.
Wow. Anytime Coach Walton would give me a grape Jolly Rancher, I'm giving it right back.
1-2. It's flared up down the third base line. Barburi's got it. And there's 2 away. That's why you and I work together so well. You can have all the cherry Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah.
I'll keep the grape.
Yeah. If only we could just get a bag with only grape and cherry.
Well,
we got to find someone else to get the other flavors too.
We'll get somebody on that. Townsend Thomas is up looking for some 2-out production. First pitch, rolls it to second. That'll retire the side, but Kenley Cahalen delivers once more, her 10th double. Scores Taylor Shoemaker from first, and the Gators strike first. In this game 3 of the series, Mississippi State back to the plate. Gators feeling good through 1. Grab their first series win over the Gators in 7 years. Last hit it in 2019, season high 14 hits yesterday. Prime opportunity too for both of these teams to build their hosting cases.
Absolutely, and Mississippi State, after losing this past week, or excuse me, winning this past week in their first SEC win, rolling into this weekend, feeling confident to try to get that game 3, but this series will definitely help both teams advance with some wins under their belt to host.
What was Keegan Rothrock doing right in that first inning?
I think Keegan Rothrock was just being Keegan Rothrock. She knows she's got good stuff. I think we all know it, but I think the confidence and the execution is what's most important for Rothrock. And really good start by her to not allow any base runners in that first inning and set the tone, because Mississippi State has been coming out hot in both games.
Paige Ernstis leading off, already took ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Up top 2-0. Ernstis yesterday came through in a big way. A 5 ribby day, far and away her best day at the plate this season. Only had 6 RBI all year coming into that second game. A 2-0 pitch. Roller up the third base line. Grover's got it. And there's 1 down. And quickly retires the leadoff for Mississippi State in the second. Gators series win today before they go on the road this upcoming weekend to South Carolina. As we churn towards early April in the SEC. Bernardini's up, first toss. That's in the zone for strike 1. One of the seniors on this team has been the everyday starter in left. Had a solo home run yesterday. 0-1 to the righty. Sings that to the screen. Quickly 0-2 on it. Rothrock doing a good job working ahead so far.
She has. She got behind a little bit last at bat to Ernstis, but produced a ground ball for an out.
Third of the SEC in Ks. Already has 1. Here's an 0-2. Pops this up, fights it off.
Keegan Rothrock's going to be the most lethal when she can, we talked about it, hit her spots, but also limit those free passes. A lot of the time, as anybody knows, those free passes usually convert to runs.
Inside, that's a ball, 1-2. And that's been a major point of emphasis, not giving up too many free passes. Of course, you could say that really to most pitchers, but especially for this staff trying to just limit damage. 1-2. That's popped up to second. And Camilla will drift into the outfield and get it because they are so talented that you just don't want to put yourself in a bad position. It's funny, we were talking to Coach Walton about Keegan Rothrock and her arsenal. He told us that Keegan Rothrock's changeup is actually pretty similar to yours.
You know what he did, and that's something that I've noticed. It's funny, I was texting, Coach Anae about this too.
First to Nadia Barbari's a strike.
Just seeing the development of Rothrock's changeup from last year to this year. Her changeup last year was in the low 50s, but now she's throwing that thing a little bit harder. I think has a little bit more zip going down in the zone this year, and I think it's been really effective for her, especially to complement her stuff going up. When you've got that split and that vertical separation, makes it a lot harder to hit you and decide what you want to try to drive.
Coach Tim Walton, NFCA Hall of Famer, 5-time SEC Coach of the Year. His ace will send to 1-1. And on the hands, and Nadia Barbari's ahead 2-1. Two-one pitch. And just found the zone. It's 2-2.
Barbary with a home run yesterday, but look at her numbers. She didn't have a ton of home runs her first 2 years, but last year her numbers doubled with 11, and this year having 9.
2-2 is way outside.
Just credits that to the development that she's had throughout this program. Coach Ricketts nodded their strength and conditioning coach and the programs that they've committed to throughout the offseason and how much they're lifting contributed to their strength overall and endurance throughout the season.
Payoff pitch. Barbary launches it to left. Thomas at the wall. It is rolled off the top and out by the tip of the webbing. It's a solo bomb.
We just spoke about Barbary and how she's able to handle the bat and bring in some power, and she does it again at the wall, but it seems here that it's off her glove. Townsend Thomas in left field. She gets caught in the fence, but her glove stays and it rolls on the top of the fence and over. That's definitely something that you don't see every day. But Townsend's got to be able to secure that ball, whether she's caught on the fence or not, to keep that ball in the park.
Well, that was just barely there and kind of pinballed out. 1-0. Rivera up the third base line, diving snag. That's a foul ball anyways.
Great effort.
That's a good effort there, and that's a gut-wrenching home run to tie this game from Florida's perspective. Nearly would have been the final out of the inning. Instead, brand new game. And then this one, another close play here.
Wow. Just getting horizontal. Try to stop that ball. I like that, though, because after that home run, that's how you know that everybody's still on their toes. Everybody's still ready to, play good defense behind Rothrock, the ace, who's going to give them the best shot to win this series.
Oh, 1-2 to Rivera. Chase that one a bit. Grover circles to it and retires this side. One of the most unorthodox home runs you'll ever see in the middle of two. We're tied at 1 by mere millimeters. Somehow, someway, Nadia Barbary has her 10th home run this year. 1-1. Over 5 weeks to see number 00 in the starting lineup once again. It's the first at bat as a starter for Ava Brown since the month of February. Came in as a pinch hitter after the eventual game-winning home run on Friday night. Got a big standing ovation, pinch hit single to start the rally yesterday, and now they'll see their captain here to lead off this bottom of the second.
And her return was highly anticipated. We were unsure when we were going to see her again.
First pitch. That missed the zone. It's ball 1.
When she came in for a pinch hit on Friday, after Cahalan's home run, it got louder. It's because Ava Brown was walking up to the plate.
1-0. Brown takes his strike at 57.
not only valuable in the box and in the circle, but a designated leader on this team along with Jocelyn Erickson.
1-1. Brown takes and works ahead, 2-1. Was one of the nation's best at producing walks when she was injured. A very disciplined hitter at the plate. Finished last year scorching hot. Had 3 home runs in the 7 NCAA tournament games they had. 2-1. Brown out in front of it, 2-2. An everyday starter the last 2 seasons. 2-2. Brown cranks this left center field on a line all the way to the wall. Long turn at first for Ava Brown. She'll settle for the single, her second hit since returning.
And this is exactly why Coach Walton wants her back in the lineup, takes this pitch that's elevated at the letters and just drives it to left center field. And off the bat, I thought it was going to go over the fence, but just a ton of power by Ava Brown. I think anybody else would have turned for second, but probably want to preserve the legs a little bit.
Kelly Matsuno will come in and pinch run at first base. It's the third at bat back from injury. She's 2 for 3. Here's Grover. And takes a ball on the first. So Brown initially back as a hitter. No timeline as to what it looks like for phasing her back to full go, but you think about the implications of what that could mean down the stretch for Florida. 1-0. That's fouled off 1-1, especially from a pitching perspective.
Well, I think if she's in the game at all, I think she's going to make a big impact, whether that be in the box or in the circle. But obviously, you know, with the staff being a little bit questionable right now behind Rothrock, you want to get Ava's back as soon as possible. We heard it yesterday. Coach Walton just wants her to be okay, wants her to be healthy, mentally right. So those other factors also play in. But seeing her in the box, I'm sure the Gators are happy.
Well, given experience, too, Olivia Miller's been great out of the bullpen this year. 2-1. Grover takes outside 3-1, as has Stevens and Sparkman. Oxley's been the Saturday starter, of course. Got her first SEC shutout out Kentucky. This will be a battery meeting with Amon and Rivera. But the Gators, they've been able to lean on that bullpen as a whole, especially on Saturdays, to pick up SEC wins. But you add the leadership of Ava Brown at full go. You think about maybe in the postseason, it poises this Florida team with how good the bats are to just have one more weapon at their disposal.
I think you said it best. You've got to drop the mic on that one, but I mean, you're right. Keegan Rothrock is probably going to, we've seen it before in the past, where she's taken the brunt of the innings going into postseason, and we see that a lot with teams who have that one stallion that they ride into postseason, but having that extra arm to be able to give Rothrock a rest, an elite arm that can crunch some innings, I think is going to be pivotal for this Gators team.
After Grover walks, it's first and second for the former Bulldog, Ella Wesolowski. Played in over 90 games in a Mississippi State uniform before ultimately transferring to Florida. Starting in right field for the first time in SEC play. Wesolowski takes a strike, it's 0-1. Did see starts in the outfield when she was at Mississippi State as well. A true utility player on what overall is a very small Florida roster by comparison to many. 0-1. Wesolowski puts down a punt. Amon's in, and the throw gets away to the outfield. That'll bring it a run. Matsuno scores, and Florida hops back in front, 2-1.
That is some textbook softball. Wesolowski dropping down a sac bunt with runners on first and second. Beautiful, beautiful bunt, but not a great throw by Amon in the circle to score another Gator run. And that's the havoc that you want to try to put on any team, put some pressure on the defense, especially early in the game, create some momentum, give your pitcher some insurance as well.
This will induce a circle meeting for Mississippi State. Bulldogs will want to chat about this a bit. Florida back in front, and all of a sudden the Gators are moving runners with efficiency. Was supposed to be a sack bunt. It came up as a run brought in for the Gators. E1 officially, 17th this year for Mississippi State. And this is an offense you just can't give away free runs to.
Oh, you can. And the pitching has kept them in the games, or at least a lot of the games that they've played throughout the season. And their defense has been stellar as well. That's been a focal point in the offseason. But got to be able to make those simple plays, be able to give yourself a chance and even help yourself out as the pitcher taking the circle. But I can imagine Coach Taryn Moet was just calming her down a little bit as maybe the intensity rises with the Gators creating havoc on offense.
First error of this series for Mississippi State. Or first of this game, should say. Camilla will drop a bunt. Bit of confusion, and Camilla safe at first. Mississippi State got a bit discombobulated. Bases are loaded up with nobody out.
Now this is what I like to see. Hasn't had a ton of success this series, but drops a bunt after seeing what you just saw with Wesolowski's, excuse me, and does it again. But this offense is heating up right now.
And Mississippi State will make a pitching change. Bases loaded up in a 2-1 game in the second. They will turn to one of their three top arms in that pin. Mississippi State looks like they'll bring in Alyssa Faircloth. More on the Troy transfer when we return. SEC strikeout leader, the lefty, Alyssa Faircloth.
Faircloth got the win yesterday, the start as well. But coming in today to hopefully stop some of that Florida momentum. 1.82 ERA coming from the left side. Throwing in the mid-60s. Change up in any count. It is lethal. And that curve sweeping across the plate is her go-to.
Saw her yesterday in this series. Picked up the win for Mississippi State in 5 innings, only allowing 4 runs. Did strike out 9. As Alberta and the Gator fans hoping that the top of their order, bases loaded, nobody out, can produce some more runs, because as we saw yesterday, Mississippi State on a good day very capable of scoring. Absolutely.
14 hits yesterday and cashed out on 9 of them. So they're looking to hopefully have that rolling into today.
Faircloth to swap second time through the order. First to Shoemaker. She'll take a strike on the first. Taylor Shoemaker walked in the first inning. There's no place to put number 21. Oh, 1. That's a strike, and Faircloth's ahead 0-2.
If you're a Gator, this is the position that you want to be in. Got no outs. Bases loaded with the reigning freshman of the year, and then right after her,
0-2.
You've got Jocelyn Erickson, and we've already talked about how much RBI production that she has, but this is a dream scenario for the Florida Gators.
And one of the best RBI producers in history on deck. 1-2 to Shoemaker. Drives that one through the right side for a base hit. Grover scores, and Florida keeps the carousel moving to the tune of a 3-1 lead.
Doesn't need to do too much because she's just so strong. That curveball missed over the plate. All she's got to do is just put her barrel on, just drives it into the ground and 3-4 hole, and another RBI for the Gators.
Brings in Jocelyn Erickson. First pitch is up and away. Homered yesterday. Was part of a Gator rally. Florida pulled back within 2, but never got any closer. Bases still loaded on a 1-0. Erickson turns at a pitch in the zone, 1-1. Erickson's hit 1 grand slam this year, was in the second inning against East Texas out in California. Faircloth trying to avoid such a fate. 1-1. Erickson taps that one into the netting. This is a really precarious spot for Mississippi State, a Gator offense that is amongst some of the best in the country entering this series. Kept them at bay for the most part, save for one swing in game one. Yesterday, Gators couldn't get over 9 runs in game 2. Did score 5, though. They are potent. 1-2. Erickson takes ball 2.
And 5 runs is typically enough to be able to get a win in your back pocket, but gotta be able to hold it down in the circle as well.
Bases loaded. Nobody out for Jocelyn Erickson. Faces a 2-2. Erickson pops it up. This will fade into the chair bounce. Erickson went down in 3 pitches looking in the first. That was a nice catch out there.
Some sibling love.
I saw number 8 shirt out there as well. A cool moment. 2-2. Erickson tees off left center. This will hang up for Bernardini. And tagging from third. Wazalowski slides in. Former Bulldog touches home. It's 4-1 Florida.
Jocelyn Erickson doing what Jocelyn Erickson does. Racking up another RBI. I think that's what her job is. I mean, when we're taught when we're growing up is just get the ball to the outfield, and does that with ease. Jocelyn Erickson.
Got in the runner at third, gives way to Kenley Cahalan. Already doubled in this game, homered in the first game. And takes his strike on the first. It's 0-1 for the Alabama transfer. He's homered in 3 of her last 4 SEC games. The 0-1. Cahalan carves this in the air, playable in foul territory. Rivera's got the mask off, collides with Barbary. And it's just a foul ball. Des Rivera is slow to arise. Glad to see everybody's okay.
This one definitely knocked the wind out of her. Both players calling for the ball. Rivera camped under it, but Barbary coming in hot like a Mack truck against a brick wall.
We'll check on Des Rivera, make sure she's okay. 2-time transfer. Veteran catcher back there for Mississippi State. It's interesting because so much of the conversation around Mississippi State, rightfully so, is on all the portal pickups in the circle, but they also had some big portal pickups behind the dish as well on the other side of that battery, and it's been impressive from this Mississippi State coaching staff getting all of them to gel despite so many new faces.
Yeah, and she really credits her vets that have been here to be able to show them the way, and talks about the transfer portal and a lot of programs having to kind of feel like they have to restart and assimilating the new players to their culture.
Off the pause, it's outside, ball 1. Coach Walton said Kenley Cahalan has been making good choices lately. Doesn't strike out a whole ton either. 1-2. She'll strike out here. Strike 3. The second strikeout for this staff. It's the first for Faircloth out of the bullpen.
Don't you just love when they make you eat your words a little bit?
Exactly.
Faircloth's changeup is just dirty. We see her curveball. That changeup, she just establishes that and throws it in any count. Gets Cahalan a swing.
First to Walker's outside. Looking for more damage, 1-0. And Walker takes in the zone. It's 1-1. I think it's a credit too to how good this Mississippi State staff has been at collecting strikeouts. They have 2 of the top 3 strikeout producers in the league. Faircloth's one of them. 1-1. Framed that up. It's 1-2.
That's a pitch that Faircloth was getting yesterday, being able to paint that outer corner. But to your point, like, they're getting a ton of strikeouts, and They're not walking a whole lot, but then you look at their batting average and it's extremely low. So tough to get a hit, tough to get on base as she strikes out.
Second strikeout for Faircloth, retires this side, but Florida in that inning grabs 3 runs and the lead through 2. Gators up 4-1. Series, Mississippi State trying to rally. Gators load the bases, take some advantage of it, and 3 runs with the pitching on these two teams feels like 30.
It does, especially when they're coming in and mixing speeds and mixing locations with a ton of spin. We saw pitchers do it already on Friday, and I thought we were going to see another one today. The score's still slim, but a little bit more production early from the Gators in today's match.
Time will be called here before we get started. Mississippi State will send Tatum Silva to lead off, 8-9-1 for the Bulldogs in the 3rd. Silva had a great day yesterday, 3 hits, season high. And she'll take inside on the 1st. Keegan Rothrock, 1 strikeout in the 1st. Did give up that wonky solo bomb in the 2nd. 1-0. That one's down the chute, 1-1.
It's easy to call it a bomb, but I'm going to leave it at a home run.
And barely leaked out off Thomas's glove. 1-1 pitch. Silva takes strike 2.
Some plays you just don't see a lot in softball. And that's definitely one of those plays.
A 1-2. That sliced off foul, stays the same count. Well, Florida fans will more fondly remember in a super regional against Auburn. On the baseball side of things, it carried off the glove and out. A ways back. 1-2 pitch. A check swing, Silva fights it off.
And Silva steps into the box with that split grip. You see a lot of players split their top hand, bottom hand, even just a little bit to be able to gain a little bit more control over their top hand through the zone.
This 1-2's outside, 2-2.
You see that a lot more with lefties and a lot of the time slappers as well. Her split grip isn't great, but you do see it a little bit. Gives you a little bit more confidence in your hands.
Strikes out here, though. Keegan Rothrock has her 2nd to begin the 3rd.
And that changeup has only gotten better with time. You see the downward trajectory that it has. It's hard to be able to get a grasp on where that pitch is going to end with your depth perception and how much that ball is spinning.
Zion Romero up. And taking ball 1 upstairs. Has not had a hit in this series, 0 for 5. The sophomore had the 2-run double in the series win over South Carolina. 1-0. Romero takes his strike 1-1.
She also had a momentum shifting play at second base yesterday where she dove up the middle and stopped a line drive. Could have easily scored some Gator runners.
1-1. That's low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Samantha Ricketts and her team trying to get back to 500 in league play today. 2-1. That's clocked up and fouled. 2-2. Also could pick up a huge road series victory. You start getting into those conversations about hosting, could put the Bulldogs in a really good position.
That's the goal. Continuing to get better throughout the season, get some big wins under your belt to be able to translate into the postseason.
2-2. This is fouled out in right field territory up against the screen. We've already seen some upsets this weekend in the SEC. Alabama yesterday taking 2 out of 3 from Texas. They come from behind, win the series. Texas A&M knocking off Georgia as well, a higher ranked foe. 2-2. Just a tad low. It's 3-2.
Just a little bit low, but a really great pitcher's pitch by Rothrock to paint that lower outside corner. Good holds in the box.
On the payoff. Flared in the air. Madison Walker's over and can't track it. Falls out by the tarp.
That's a really tough play for really anybody over there with the sun beaming in the sky. Got that Florida sun shining. Got to be able to know your surroundings as well with the photo booth and the tarp over there as well.
Payoff pitch again. Romero caught a piece to stay alive. That's a big at-bat for Mississippi State, a chance to give a runner the top of the Bulldog order. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Another payoff from Rothrock. Driven to the air, center field, Shoemaker watches it go! Mississippi State's second home run from the bottom half of the order, and it's 4-2.
Coach Ricketts highlighted Zion Romero as one of those players that just come up big in those moments and want it. And this is one of those moments where she takes the 10th pitch of her at bat over the center field fence to split the disparity in the score. A really big at bat by Zion, really mature at bat to be able to stay the course, run the count to 3-2, and then hit a tank over center field.
Oh, who needs runners for the top of the order when you can just touch them all? Still only one out for Sells. That's a strike on the first.
Oh for 1 today, but pieced up a ball to center field in the first inning. Got 2 hits in the leadoff position to start the game the past 2 days.
0-1 and a check swing, appeal to first. It's 1-1. Kiara Sells suffers from hearing loss in her left ear. She wears a hearing aid every game, actually turns it off before at-bats. Coach Ricketts told us she literally tunes out the noise. Suffers from cholesteatoma. 1-1 pitch. Sells slices that foul. And a local girl reached out to the program, emailed Coach Ricketts, wanted to come out and see a game. It was a really cool moment of representation in college sports. Suffers from the same thing she does.
A beautiful moment for that little girl and seeing herself in Kiara Sells, knowing that you can achieve anything you want despite whatever challenges that you might have.
And Sells pounds this to center field. Well gone! Back-to-back Bulldog bombs. It's 4-3.
And another challenge that she overcomes in facing Keegan Rothrock as she rides the pony down the stairs through the dugout, a tradition in Mississippi State softball.
And time will be called for Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro to come have a word with Keegan Rothrock. That is a dugout tradition as the Gators go to a strategy meeting. That unicorn you talked about, it's not a horse. They were very specific about it. It comes after they score runs, and this one was given a long ride.
Yeah, a great piece of hitting by Kiara Sells. That pitch was on the lower outside corner, and she just extends her bat, doesn't even finish her swing, and drives it to dead center. She told Zion, yeah, you won't be the only one here.
It originates from a talent show between the classes this past fall. It was used by the junior class. It travels everywhere. Ali Supan is the keeper of the Pink Pony. Every time they score a run, they ride the unicorn down the dugout.
You gotta love those props and the little fun things that each team does, and that they hold on with them and bring along throughout the season.
Morgan styles it in a one-run game. Rothrock's first. Styles lifts this to playable short. Halen will backpedal into it. There's 2 down.
Still a lot of game left. But Mississippi State just chipping away. All weekend they've looked fearless in the box.
And a Carter up and bounces it off Rothrock's glove. Cahalan finds it and makes the play. Making the not so easy look easy. The Gators shortstop retires the side, but Mississippi State does damage. Back-to-back solo bombs. First in the 9th spot from Romero. And then Kiara Sells cuts it to a 1-run lead. Pop it on the unicorn down the dugout in celebration. 4-3, Gators in front. In Florida, maybe not feeling so friendly against Alyssa Faircloth, who shut them down in a situation despite having bases loaded. Only back-to-back Ks. Townsend Thomas will lead off for Florida. Tries to bunt on the first. It's 0-1. Townsend Thomas playing her first season as an everyday player. Redshirted last year, was actually the first base coach for Florida down the second half of the season. But Coach Walton had talked about opening weekends, was still kind of getting adjusted a little bit. 0-1. Thomas wipes through that for a strike, but this game is starting to slow down a bit. She's playing faster with the reps and is starting to look more and more comfortable for Florida. Now back in this 5 spot, she's led off, has been in the 6th spot as well. Faircloth 0-2. And Thomas strikes out, drop 3rd strike on the throw to first, completes the K. It's Faircloth's 3rd straight.
Another changeup by Faircloth. This pitch is so much downward trajectory. Looks like a strike coming out of the hands. It's just so deceptive because the change of speed, but also the direction that ball's moving.
Ava Brown back to the plate as the designated player for Florida. Had a single back in the 2nd. That's outside, ball 1. It says a lot about Ava Brown that had been out for 5 weeks, comes back, and of her first 3 at-bats, 2 of them have been hits. On a 1-0 pitch. Brown will take a strike.
I can imagine she was still taking her reps in the cage and getting some live ABs, even if it wasn't in game, to continue to keep her prepared for when she did make her big moment and appeared in a game again.
Oh, 1-1 to the righty. And Brown will take strike 2. And talking with Coach Walton between games, he said, look, Ava Brown earned this opportunity to go back out there and start working back into this starting lineup. Her relentless work ethic in the rehab process. 1-2. Brown pulls this foul at 3rd. Speaking of Coach Walton, we'll talk to him at the top of the 4th inning. Check in with the head man of the Florida Gators, 2-time national champion who's led this program to 13 Women's College World Series, including 3 of the last 4. Oh, 1-2 to Ava Brown. Bashes this on a line to left, falling fast, but Bernardini's a little bit faster. There's 2 down. In your opinion, what's allowed Tim Walton to have such sustained success?
I think I learned so much under Coach Walton. I feel like just his knowledge of the game above anything, I think surpasses anybody I've ever been coached by, but also his ability to be a human and care about you a lot more than just as a softball player. I think that was one of the biggest things for me in leaving the program is, yeah, we obviously want to win a national title, and he fostered an environment that, you know, we stayed competitive in and wanted to be great, but cared about us as people and wanted to see us thrive post-collegiate career.
0-1 to Kendall Grover's blowing out. It's 1-1.
But I will say, Coach Walton is a very meticulous coach. If there's a situation on the softball field that could happen, we're practicing it about 1,000,000 times.
Oh, 1-1 pitch. Grover drives this to short. Stiles makes the play in time, and that ends the inning. Faircloth faces the minimum in the third. She is retired. 5 in a row, 3 off of strikeouts. Let's talk to Coach Walton when we come back at the top of the fourth. And it's Keegan Rothrock back in the circle for Florida. Didn't give up the 2 back-to-back home runs, but Coach Walton making a really good point that, yeah, those are 2 home runs maybe you wouldn't want to give up, but Mississippi State didn't have any runners on board, partially because she led off the inning with a strikeout.
Absolutely, and that's 3 total this game. The the solo home runs that she's had, but, you know, we talked about her just limiting her free passes. Be a lot more damage done if she were to give up any walks beforehand.
Paige Ernstess is up for Sauce. And skips in the dirt. It's ball 1. Ernstess, major game yesterday. And popped out to begin her day in the second. 1-0. There's your strike. It's 1-1.
Coach Ricketts has been extremely impressed with Ernstess as of late. Says what she's able to do is not reflected in her batting average. Has had a really great past 2 weeks that have forced their hand to put her in the starting lineup.
Rothrock misses here. Issues a free pass. Ernstess, a hit by pitch. 5th time she's been hit this year, puts her at first base.
And she is a warrior for not wearing an elbow guard and just taking that one. A little stare down to Rothrock. I don't think she liked it, but anything you got to do to be able to get some runners on.
I think leadoff runners, especially for Mississippi State, only down a single run. A big win for them. Abby Grace Richardson will pinch run, and we'll talk to Coach Samantha Ricketts on the other side of this inning. Check in with her, game 3 of the series. And you got to feel good about some of the towering swings they've had. And there is Richardson running at first base, so a little bit of speed in place of the 4-spot hitter. Morgan Bernardini will come to the plate. Lashes bunt on the first. It's ball 1.
If you take a look at the defense, you'll see that Walker is even with first base. It's a lot of area for Bernardini to cover.
Up into the screen, 1-1. Gators took game 1. Mississippi State won yesterday in a bit of a track meet. 9 runs on 14 hits. SEC and overall season highs in those categories. 1-1. Bernardini bunts, and that angle is foul. That takes away the bunt opportunity for Bernardini, strategically at least. Tying runners on base. 3 homers today for Mississippi State. On a 1-2. Bernardini takes outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bernardini had 2 hits over the South Carolina, or 3 hits rather, over the South Carolina series. Coach Walton's going to come out for a conversation after that last pitch out of the zone. We'll call the entire infield in here. Would imagine this is probably just about kind of reset things a little bit, but also just align things on the infield for any potential opportunity defensively.
Yeah, I can imagine that's what he's talking about, but Coach has been extremely impressed with Keegan Rothrock's maturity over the years. This is her best year to manage. More emotionally stable, better communicator, more in control of her game. I think those are one of the things that comes with time as you learn yourself throughout your collegiate career, and practicing every day, figuring out what you need to be successful.
I've been really happy with her growth. Has overcome a lot in her career. Has had to navigate some injury bumps here and there. On a 2-2. Bernardini pulls it to short. Cahalan got the lead runner on to first. Not in time for the double play. So trade Bernardini at first for Richardson.
Really good double play opportunity for the Gators, but Bernardini just legs this one out. I think whenever you hit a ground ball in the infield with a runner on first, your only thought is don't hit into a double play, or at least make it to first base on that. And
first to Barbary. Check swing at it, takes ball one outside. It was funny, we got the chance to talk to Keegan Rothrock. We asked about when she was first offered by Tim Walton, said she didn't actually realize she had received the offer. It took her until the car ride home to process what had actually happened. 1-0. That's outside, ball two, and it was a dream of hers to come play for Florida, and now lives that dream every day. Former National Gatorade Softball Player of the Year in her high school days, now a junior. 2-0. Barbary takes a strike. It's 2-1.
I think that's a beautiful thing about recruiting, though, is everyone's journey is just extremely different. There's no one cookie cutter way that it happens.
2-1. Out in front of this, ground ball to third. Got the lead runner again, and this time the throw is still not in time. That was razor thin at first, but Florida, a bit of deja vu. There's two down.
The ball's not hit as hard in the infield. It makes it tougher to get that second out. This one looks like she's safe.
Well, Tim Walton will issue a challenge.
This is under further review.
So we will look to see if the runner is safe or out at first base. As it stands, Barbary safe off the fielder's choice. From this angle, it looks to me like she's safe.
I think in real time and in the replays, it's hard to think otherwise.
That's how it appears from that angle. They have more looks at it from the Hawkeye camera system.
She's safe. That ball isn't secured in the mitt before her foot lands on the orange bag.
Yeah, it's close. I think it's worth a challenge.
Runner is safe. Florida has one challenge remaining.
No, Gators do not win their first challenge issued in the top of the fourth. They still lead by a run, but now the tying run on base with 2 outs.
Makes me wonder when we'll get an ABS system here in college.
First pitch to Rivera. That's in the zone for strike one. From an entertainment perspective, that's been electric. A 1. Ground ball to short. And Florida, 3 consecutive times, gets the lead runner to retire the side. So Mississippi State does leave 3 consecutive fielders' choices. And we'll talk to head coach for Mississippi State, Samantha Ricketts, after we pay some bills. Erickson, she was great yesterday. That's continued into today. 12 strikeouts in the series. Ain't too shabby, Alicia.
No, she's been an extremely reliable arm throughout the season, but coming in today has been a little bit different. You know, she's got a chip on her shoulder right now to try to win the second series for Mississippi State.
Ella Wesolowski leads off for Florida, 8-9-1 in the Gator order. Outside the zone on the first, it's 1-0.
Coach Ricketts spoke about only getting a bye that first weekend and having to play 8 straight SEC weekends.
1-0. That misses, ball 2.
How tough it is in this conference. She spoke about it in her interview, talked about Sundays, but really it's every day, no matter who you're playing. And we've seen it already this year, the upsets, the crazy plays, the freshmen coming out the woodworks.
It's 2-0. This is the zone. That's 3 balls, no strikes on Wesolowski. And she said that that is what you come to Mississippi State for. It's to play week in, week out in the SEC, and they embrace the challenge of the nonstop grind. Faircloth's 3-0 will come in. In her half strike, it's 3-1. Wesolowski reached on an error in the second. Now facing a different arm. So far, so good. First time through the order for Faircloth. 3-1. Wesolowski lifts it into center. And Silva comes in for the catch.
A nice piece in a hitter's count to drive that off-speed pitch through the middle of the field. Faircloth's off-speed has been extremely dominant against the Gators today, really all season, but a good piece by Wesolowski.
Gabby coming into the plate, laid down a bunt single back in the second. Way inside on the first to Camilla. It's 1-0. Gabby Camilla starting to find her stride a little bit more at the plate as of late. Still sub 200 in her last 10 games, though. 1-0. Finds a strike here. It's 1-1. But such an important piece in that 9 spot. One of the fastest players on the team. The next home. Camilla caught a piece, fouls it at third. One of their leaders defensively, but also just still finding that group. First year as an everyday starter. Saw time off the bench and some starts here and there. Had a solid weekend at Arkansas, Coach Walton's words. For her, it's pitch selection and success rates, according to the head man of this program. A 1-2. Camilla reaches for that one, taps it at third. Close play at first, but still in time for the second out. Two outs for the top of this Florida order. Shoemaker has reached twice already in 2 plate appearances. First in. That's a strike. Reigning NFCA Freshman of the Year. Last year tied single season records for homers and RBI, facing one of the best strikeout producers in the SEC.
Yeah, Shoemaker had probably the best freshman year in Gator history this past year. I mentioned her accolades. First team All-American last year, the only Gator to ever earn that. We've had some generational players come through the program.
And one of 2 NFCA Freshmen of the Year. The other was somebody you know very well, Amanda Lorenz. And last year, the numbers were just video game tier. 17 doubles, 86 RBI. That was on the heels of Jocelyn Erickson setting that record in 2024. 1-2. Shoemaker takes strike 3. Will go down looking to retire this side. Faircloth has 4. And it's still a 1-run lead for the orange and blue as we go to the top of the 5th. Series is on the line on this Easter Sunday.
Their 3rd and 4th losses of the season.
Keegan Rothrock in the circle for Florida has pitched pretty well for the Gators. Has had a couple of strikeouts despite 3 solo home runs allowed. Other than that, has kept Mississippi State in check. So long balls have been the story for the Bulldogs, but Rothrock still has 1 run a cushion as Silva leads off. That's outside, ball 1.
When you have a rise ball pitcher, it's inevitable that you get a little bit more home runs hit off of you throughout the course of the season. That's why it's so important to hit your locations as a pitcher and make the ball dance, because when you leave it, you're going to get punished. That ball is going to get hit.
Yeah, it's 1-1 here. And the other thing, too, is limiting the free passes is also such a big component, because solo home runs don't hurt you as much, as Coach Walton said. 1-1. It's 2-1.
Which is the silver lining in the home runs today. But the good thing is that the Gators' bats came out early today, got some runs on the board to be able to still hold the lead, but as we've seen it before, no lead is too big.
2-1. Silva takes strike 2. Silva went down swinging her first trip after a 3-hit game yesterday. 2-2. Silva rolls this foul at third. Right now, Oklahoma, top of the SEC standings. They're in the lead with only 1 loss. But they'll be tested a little bit down the stretch, as will Alabama, Texas, really everybody. This league is so deep. Most teams in the SEC getting into the tournament year in, year out. 2-2. Silva takes ball 3. But it's worth noting in Florida's hunt, they won't play Alabama, Texas, or Oklahoma. So if they take care of business in games like these, they'll be in that conversation at the end of the year. Payoff pitch. Silva chops one to short. Cahalan's got it. 6-3 is in time. I think Mississippi State will want to challenge this.
That's another tough play. I think it was even closer than the last one.
Yeah, from that angle, did not look conclusive immediately. It's razor thin at first base. Bulldogs immediately issuing that challenge. Let's see.
Best view in the house.
Great job by our production crew.
I'm impressed by how clear it is and the shot that we're getting.
In 4K. Well, first base coach Zach Shaw immediately was issuing for the review, as was third base. Everybody pretty much agreed from Mississippi State's side. Take a look at this, especially this deep into the game. You've got 2 challenges.
Ryan, I think Silva's safe here. I think that foot gets on orange before Walker secures the ball in her webbing.
From that angle.
Stands, runner is out. Mississippi State has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, and it goes back to that conversation of indisputable video evidence. It was a very close play at first base. But I agree, from that angle, it looked, it could go either way, honestly. Zion Romero will step up after the challenge is not successful for Samantha Ricketts. Pop up to second, Comia. 2 away. Brings in Kiara Sells, who's already left the yard once.
Kiara Sells has so much power. Doesn't even finish her swing to drive this ball over center field. A catalyst for Mississippi State. Does it yet again. Has a hit in every single game from this weekend.
Trying to keep that going here. Everybody steps up as the tying run as Sells takes strike 1. Former walk-on for Samantha Ricketts. Always knew she wanted to come to Mississippi State. Showed up to a camp her senior year of high school. 0-1 pitch. Inner edge strike, and it's 0-2. And Samantha Ricketts told us actually trying to go get her to play for a friend of hers at the JUCO level. Said, they'll pay your way, we'll take you after 2 years. Kiara said, no, I'll pay my own way. I want to be a Bulldog. Has adjusted and grown, now is on scholarship. 0-2. Sells, opposite way, shallow right. 3 Gators in the area, nobody can get it. It's a fair ball. Sells into second, and the Bulldogs are in business. Tying run in scoring position.
For anybody watching this, that is how you run out a fly ball. Kiara sells out for this one. A ball in no man's land. Nobody's able to get a glove on it after Comia calls it off. But Sells just continues to run to second base, knowing that that one might be iffy, to give her team a good shot to get her in here in the top of the 5th.
Styles up. On the first, lasers just foul up the right field line. That would have certainly brought in the tying run. A 2-out double for Kiara Sells has put the pressure on Keegan Rothrock. The 0-1 pitch. Styles smashes this wide of third. It's 0-2. Hitting with runners in scoring position has been critical for Mississippi State. They struggled to do it on Friday night. Were much better yesterday in the win. Another opportunity to do so, trying to hit well situationally. On an 0-2. Up and away, that's ball one.
Styles, another Bulldog with a hit in game 1 and game 2. Seeing the ball really well despite her strikeout in the first.
1-2. Styles flares it up into shallow center. Shoemaker's in, makes the catch and retires this side. 2 out, 2 baggers left stranded. And it's still a 1-run lead for the orange and blue, trying to expand it in the home half of the fifth. Rolled off the top and out. It's a solo bomb. Florida keeps the carousel moving. Back-to-back Bulldog bombs. Brings us to the bottom of the fifth. Florida and Mississippi State in game 3. Erickson takes ball 1 of the first 2, 3, and 4 for the Gators in his home fifth. This one's been a ton of fun. She's Alicia Ocasio. I'm Ryan Urquhart. Jeremy Otter is our producer today. Melissa Faircloth has come in and been dealing. 1-0. And that's low for ball 2. Or rather 1-1. Jocelyn Erickson, only a sac fly RBI today. He's also struck out once. On a 1-1. Strike 2. And Faircloth works ahead. We figured we'd see some combination of pitchers today. Faircloth, 9 strikeouts yesterday. Has ballooned that to 13 over the series with a 4 in this game. Looking for another on this one, too. Erickson pops it up. Rivera will call it off. This time makes the catch. Collided with Barbary earlier on a similar pop fly in foul territory. And this time she's got plenty of real estate for the first out of the inning. Kenley Cahalan had an RBI double to begin her day, but then struck out. He's one of the toughest to strike out in the league statistically. Well, on the first, taps this off foul. How has Faircloth been able to continue what she did yesterday?
Well, yesterday, I mean, she did give up 4 earned runs, but coming in today, she's been lights out. That curveball and that changeup combo, I think, is really suiting her well today against the Gators. Got to be able to adjust.
Cahalan, a laser beam foul up the right field line. It's 0-2.
I think they're still seeing the ball really well, but it's about pulling the trigger. With Faircloth switching speeds, Cahalan striking out on that changeup last at bat, and just continuing to chip away, get some insurance runs.
And 0-2 from Faircloth. Cahalan lays off for that one. Ball 1.
I would like to know where that missed.
Well, that was razor
That was a good
thin.
pitch.
Yeah, that was a really good pitch.
Maybe a little low, but still a really good spot.
1-2. This time it is a strikeout. I think at 5 for Alyssa Faircloth, and there's 2 away in the 5th.
Faircloth just does a great job at hiding that ball in her glove until the last second, but then you add in the speed factor, her just being able to pull the string, gets Cahalan to earn her second strikeout of the day.
Madison Walker to the plate. Taking strike one on the outer half from the lefty.
And then that backdoor curveball that you just saw there. She was getting a lot of calls yesterday on the corner to get those 9 strikeouts. If she can get that pitch consistently, she's going to be fairly unhittable.
You know, Alicia, we were talking with Coach Walton this week about the profiles of Mississippi State and some of the other league opponents. On the surface, you might think similar to Tennessee just because of the 3 arms and the depth of the pitching staff, but the spin of the movement, he said it was closer to Arkansas. Walker turned there, and on the appeal called a strike. It's 1-2.
Yeah, with Tennessee, you've got 3 arms and arguably 3 aces throwing gas. So Walker breaks her wrist to get a check swing, but you know, Tennessee's got 3 arms that are throwing gas. In comparison to this team, you got 3 arms that are throwing really well, but they're not necessarily gonna blow it by you. So he compared this staff to Arkansas's Timmerman, Burnham, and the other arms that they have that have been known for more deception and finesse than speed.
2-2. Oh, look at that for strike 3. Alyssa Faircloth, the Troy transfer, is locked in, keeps this a 1-run game through 5, 6 strikeouts in relief. Been a good one. Game 3 of the series, Florida and Mississippi State. It's the orange and blue by a single run as we go to the top of the 6th. Mississippi State has gotten all 3 off of the long ball. Gators, their first 3 batters came out scorching hot. They hit well situationally, but in the back half of this game, Alicia, it's become a pitching duel.
It has. Rothrock's been handling business. Aside from those 3 solo shots, and Faircloth has been virtually perfect coming in after Amon.
Yeah, 12 straight retired. Anna Carter leads off, 3, 4, and 5 for the Bulldogs. And the first, Rockets in for a strike, 0-1. Anna Carter, 0 for 2 today. Oh, 1. Takes this upstairs, 1-1. Anna Carter transferred into this program from Southern Illinois, 2-time MVC All-Conference selection. Has been splitting time at that designated player spot. They like her experience overall. Troutman only a freshman. This 1-1 fades off the plate. It's 2-1.
I think when you got depth in different positions, and in this case behind the plate, I think Coach Ricketts just looks at matchups, arms, lefty versus righty catcher.
2-1. Got a hold of this into left. Thomas will track this down, and there's 1 away.
That's another reason why Townsend Thomas is in left field today. There's different bats in the lineup. Ava Brown has something to do with that as well.
Yeah, Ava Brown coming back put one of Florida's regular catchers as if late. We'll get a pinch hitter for Mississippi State. Bulldogs, or rather we'll just reinsert Ernstes. Gators putting Eloise Alowski, who had been splitting time at catcher in DP with Jocelyn Erickson in right field. She had that kind of versatility when she was at Mississippi State, but a very small roster overall, smallest in the Power 4, is also versatile in that way. First pitch lined right to Cahalan, wasting no time for the second out of the inning.
Florida, not a ton of depth with how many players are on the roster, but players who can play multiple positions allows them to move some things around and shift things around whenever they're needed.
Morgan Bernardini to the plate. All right, no question, strike 1.
Smiling. I know that feeling when you let a ball go down the pipe and you knew you could have done some damage.
0-1. Bernardini right back to the originator. Keegan Rothrock, a smooth operator, as nonchalantly makes the squeeze, and we are in the middle of 6. Florida looking for insurance in the home half. Series is on the line on this Easter Sunday.
Faircloth, 4 innings pitched today, only giving up 1 hit, 6 Ks this season with 178. She's shut the door on the Florida Gators since that pitching change from Amon.
15 strikeouts in this series. Townsend Thomas leads off in the 5 spot. Off the plate, it's ball 1. And this is where Mississippi State staff really shows just how valuable it is. 1-run game late, trying to keep this in striking distance. Against a really good Florida offense, that's a strike 1-1. Townsend Thomas, one of those K victims against Faircloth, was back in the 3rd. Faircloth over her whole career has had a knack for that. 1-1. Thomas got fooled at 50. Was 3rd in the Sun Belt last year in strikeouts with 150 of those. You go back to her high school days, she broke the Holy Spirit high school strikeout record for a career, over 1,000. Also led the nation amongst high schoolers. 1-2, that's fouled. Had 444 in a single season. On 1-2. Thomas ropes one foul over Kendra Falby at first. Back as one of the graduate assistants for the staff. A name Florida fans would be familiar with. A Gold Glover, All-American, helped lead Florida to a couple World Series. And still helping this program a year after she graduates. 1-2 to Thomas. Low and in, ball 2. We're catching up with Jocelyn Erickson, asked what it's like having her teammate still be around this program. She said, I mean, it's great, but it's also a little bit annoying because she still robs my home runs.
I love that. I love that. Still an athlete playing in the pro realm right now for the AUSL. Got to get her reps in somehow.
2-2. Thomas floats one up to second. Romero has got it. And there's one away in this inning. Romero makes the play. That's 13 consecutive outs. And Ava Brown will step back up to the plate in her first start since being injured back in February. Has continued to find ways to hit. 2-2. Inside on the first, it's ball 1.
Those are just some good pitches that she's not getting today. I think yesterday she had a little bit of a bigger zone to throw to, but now getting a little bit pinched.
This 1-0 finds the zone.
You talk about what she's able to do physically, what she brings to the table, but she also brings that fire. Coach Ricketts said her team loves to play behind her. She just brings that edge to the team. Every single time she steps in the circle. And that's something that you see across the board with the 3 transfer arms. They're all mid-major transfers, but transition has been seamless coming into SEC play.
2-1. Brown fouls it off, 2-2. That's a huge credit to this coaching staff and pitching coach Taryn Mowat-McKinney in her 3rd season.
Yeah, well, she was a phenom at Arizona. Dominated for an ESPY. She just has a ton of accolades. Spent time at Ole Miss. Spent time in different programs to be able to just continue to grow within her game. But a pivotal part of this staff and their growth throughout this season. Really any program that she touches.
2-2. That misses and the count's full. Or it's 3-2. And when talking with Samantha Rickett, she told us that Coach Tia, she's known, does one-on-one bullpens the entire fall. We'll spend up to 7 hours a day working with these pitchers in that transition. Payoff pitch. And Ava Brown fired up as she'll trot to first base off a walk. The Gators get their first base runner since the 2nd inning. And they will pinch run for her. Cassidy McClellan will come in to run.
That's only Fairclaw's first walk of the day. Second walk of the weekend. Staff doesn't normally walk a lot of batters. They don't typically give up a lot of free passes.
Yeah, it was one of the best in the country in terms of not giving up those free passes. Less than 10 in SEC play for Faircloth as the first to Kendall Grover's ball one. Two-time OVC Player of the Year, Kendall Grover. Just 160 in her last 10 games. Has knocked in 3 runs, though. 1-0. 1-1. Alyssa Faircloth has been locked in for Mississippi State. That is one of only 2 free passes they've issued. 1-1. Grover takes outside, 2-1.
Yeah, this staff strikeout to walk ratio is nearly 6-1. So for every 6 strikeouts, they're walking 1 batter.
2-1, cut on for a strike, throw down to second. He's offline, and McClellan's in scoring position.
And I like this decision. McClellan just taking 2 on this. Seeing that Zion Romero at second base is covering the base makes it a little bit harder to get over and make the tag, but another runner in scoring position for the Gators.
Grover will try to take advantage on 2-2. Pop-up, instead out to Romero. Makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
That decision also breaks up the double play opportunity for Mississippi State.
Brings in Ella Wesolowski. Reached once on an error, has scored a run against her former team, trying to add some insurance. And the first is in the zone for strike 1. Comes from a big baseball family. Her dad played in the Marlin system, was her coach basically her whole life. 0-1. 1-1. Now works in law enforcement as a state trooper. Credits him with the mental toughness she learned and the work ethic that molded her to who she is today. 1-1 to Wesolowski. In the zone, strike 2. She was competitive even from a young age. By 7th grade, was already hitting home runs on a state title contending team. Now in her second college stop, trying to take advantage with 2 outs and a runner at second. On the pitch, Wesolowski takes low. Gators insurance shopping in the home half of the 6th. 2-2. And the count's full. Gabby Comia is on deck. Alyssa Faircloth had retired 13 consecutive batters up until that walk. And now a stolen base is a runner in scoring position. Faircloth's payoff. Wesolowski takes up and in. Second walk of the inning.
And 2 in a row, which is very uncharacteristic of Faircloth in the circle. Florida taking full advantage. They've got 2 outs.
Alyssa Faircloth had only walked 7 batters in conference play entering game 3 of this series. Has walked 2 in this inning and given Florida's offense an opportunity to tag on some crucial insurance in a 1-run game. Series is on the line on this Sunday. Gators won game 1 despite being out hit 5-1 off a Cahalan solo homer. And will Mississippi State make a change and turn to Peja Gould? Looks like they'll do exactly that. Samantha Ricketts has that lineup card out. The Bulldogs will give Florida a different look in the bottom of the 6th. First and second with 2 gone. And they will turn to Peja Gould. So she emerges from the bullpen. We'll step aside briefly, come back, and tell you more about one of the other star arms on this staff. Peja Gould, who steps in third different state arm.
Peja Gould has been phenomenal for this Mississippi State team. In the series, 8 innings pitched, only giving up 3 earned runs, one of them by way of Kenley Cahalan home run the other night. But she's phenomenal in the circle, can throw 3 speeds, that off-speed curve to both sides, looks like a Frisbee, and then tunnels that drop and change really well. So she has tools in her toolbox to go to keep these Gator hitters off balance and hopefully stop the bleeding.
National Pitcher of the Week had a no-hitter going on Friday. And that speed and that movement and the spin is absolutely a crucial part of her arsenal.
And in doing some research, I wanted to see what her spin rate was, what her RPM is, and her highest RPM is 2513.8, so 2,513.8. And for anybody listening, the elite pitcher in college is throwing anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000.
Camille on the first flies this foul.
So that just tells you how much she's really spinning that ball. But what's interesting about what Peja Gould does is she takes some off of her pitches to be able to spin it harder and to be able to make the ball dance a little bit more. And she can really throw in the high 60s, but she's throwing low 60s to make her ball dance.
A 1 slow and out ball and a strike. Number 6 in Softball America's April rankings. It moved up a couple of spots. Top 5 in the SEC in ERA, hits per 7, shutouts, whip, and wins. 1-1. You see the movement there tailing out. It's 2-1.
And this was the time to put her in. Able to stop any momentum.
2-1, pasted down the left field line and hangs up for Bernardini and sets up the 7th. Gators strand 2, 1-run ball game. Bulldogs will come back with 6, 7, and 8. Barbary leads off when we return. 1-run game as we go to the 7th. Florida and Mississippi State. Nadia Barbary will lead off, hit a solo bomb by mere inches back in the 2nd inning.
Barbary just sends this one into the warning track, and you would think that Townsend Thomas had her glove on it, but ends up spewing this one over the fence. But Barbary has shown a lot of power this series and throughout the course of this season for Mississippi State. A big bat in their lineup.
Barbary, her 10th home run of the season, 33rd RBI. One of the better producers for Samantha Ricketts in that 6th spot. And she will lead off this frame, just 1 run to get for Mississippi State. Jocelyn Erickson has checked in at first base for Florida. Gators a little bit of a defensive look for the 7th. It comes in place of Madison Walker. The outfield also a couple of adjustments we'll get to in just a moment. Barbary on the first, takes ball 1 low. It's Florida's everyday starting outfield. Barbary, the 3rd baseman for the Bulldogs. Everybody who steps up is the tying run. On 1-0. Underneath the zone, 2 balls, no strikes. A 2nd teamer in the SEC last year, 4-year starter. One of the best on this team in terms of average. We'll see a 2-0. And she's ahead, 3 balls, no strikes. Energy's up in the Bulldog dugout. Keegan Rothrock needs a strike. Pulls it back, and it's strike 1.
Barbary brings a ton of swag in the box. One of 3 players that have grown up in the program been there for all 4 years, but big nod to her confidence by Coach Ricketts.
3-1. Barbary takes strike 2. Thought she had ball 4. Looked to be low in the zone to me.
Maybe just a little bit, but I think for, she's going to get strike 3, maybe not leave it over the plate. But I definitely think that clipped the bottom of the zone.
Well, right now, over at third base, some extra words of disagreement coming from Mississippi State's coaching staff. That's the third base coach for the Bulldogs, in Tyler Bradman. Really animated after that last strike call from Lyndon Baptiste.
It's been there for a while. There's a lot of passion to the game for these Bulldogs.
Series is on the line in the 7th. Count is full on Barbary. Payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Tying run is on base.
I love that, though. Coach Bratton just getting in her ear. I think whenever you're a college athlete and you have your coaches learning about you from the time you step on campus, they understand what each player needs in different moments. And in that moment, he knew that he needed to hype Barbary up because that's the kind of player that she is. She is a leader on this team. She's vocal. She's confident. She has a ton of swag. And Coach knew that in that moment that he needed to hype her up, and that's exactly what he did.
Mississippi State will bring a pinch runner into first base. Barbary, some extra words of encouragement. Tying run will be Ali Supan. We talked about is the keeper of that celebration unicorn that Mississippi State has in the dugouts when they score runs. Des Rivera up. Trying to bunt, takes strike 1.
It seems as if the first base umpire had previously called time before Rothrock started her pitch.
Yeah, you can see him calling time there. That was Chad Steers. So it's still 0-0 on the count. Here's the first pitch. Pulls it back, and we're back right where we thought we were at 0-1.
Rothrock, as the games progress, I've seen her miss a few more over the plate. I'd love to see her continue to just move the ball and hit those spots that have made her successful in her appearances this weekend.
Well, it's 0-2 now after a couple of bunt attempts. It's clear the primary concern for Mississippi State is getting Supan into scoring position. Oh, 2. Rice ball misses upstairs.
Keegan Rothrock with some count leverage. She's able to move the ball around a little bit more now with the count being 1-2.
And she'll send that pitch. Up and away, gets to the backstop. Supan takes advantage off the wild pitch. Tying run is at second base for the Bulldogs.
I love the sellies that each team has. But Rothrock just lets this one go. Wild pitch, not allowing Wesolowski to get her glove behind it.
2-2 lasered and deflected to second. Komia's throw is in time, but it is productive. Supan's on the doorstep. Or Supan, rather, is just 60 feet away.
And that is just a free pass that you can't give up in big-time moments. Keegan Rothrock giving away an extra base from a wild pitch in this critical moment. We got one out now, but in that moment allowed a runner in scoring position with nobody out at all.
So off the ground out from Des Rivera, Now Taylor Troutman, who is used to these kind of big spots before, will step to the plate as a pinch hitter. She had the walk-off home run against Tennessee in the 9th in their win over the then #1 Lady Vols. And the freshman swings away on the first. It's 0-1. So maybe one of the biggest at-bats of this series. She will turn to the freshman once again. Coach Ricketts said she loves how she's not afraid of the big moment. Elevates to these kind of spots. Supin's on the doorstep at third. 0-1 pitch. Troutman takes over the top for ball 1.
Pinch hitting is one of the hardest things to do in the game. But knowing that Coach Ricketts believes in her, I think gives that extra level of confidence.
0-1-1. Troutman takes strike 2. This one's been a pitching duel in the back half of the game. Tying run on third. 0-1-2 from Rothrock. Troutman fights it off foul. A freshman from Henderson, Kentucky. Troutman, 5 hits in conference play. 3 of those have been for extra bases. Has been rotated in this designated player spot. Pinch hitting in this moment on another 1-2. Troutman lasers to right center. Shoemaker over's got it. Supin from third will score, and we are tied.
Mississippi State has brought the energy all weekend long, but Troutman, all she had to do was get the ball to the outfield and do what she does. She does exactly that and ties up this ball game.
Into the 9th spot with Romero. Upstairs, it's 1-0. So from needing the tying run to now with 2 outs trying to take the lead going into the 7th. We will play the home half. Florida has the top of its order scheduled to the plate. Romero pops this up. Camilla's got it, and we will take this tie game to the bottom of the 7th. Top of the Gator order coming to the plate. Florida's big bats trying to win the series in the 7th. Top of the Gator order in the bottom of the 7th. 4-4 with the series on the line between Mississippi State and the Florida Gators. Taylor Shoemaker will lead off. She had Florida's last base hit all the way back in the 2nd inning, and they'll have to do it against Peja Gould.
Yeah, a tough feat right now to get a hit off of Gould, who has been phenomenal in this series. But Shoemaker, this is exactly the position that you want to be in if you're a Gator, the top of your lineup. A lot of RBI production, a lot of power, a lot of grittiness. Be able to get you back on the board and walk it off.
Taylor Shoemaker takes outside on the 1st. Interesting wrinkle for the Florida leadoff. She has had a home run in Game 3 in 3 of their 4 SEC series. Mizzou, Kentucky, and Tennessee. 1-0. Shoemaker takes up and in. It's ball 2. Third different arm for Mississippi State, turning to Peja Gould. Reigning National Pitcher of the Week against the reigning Freshman of the Year. 2-0. Shoemaker caught a piece of this and fouls it off. One of the best hit producers in the country in this moment, represents the game-winning run and series-winning run for the Florida Gators. Home team trying to stay in the upper part of the SEC standings in the hunt for a regular season title. Mississippi State, aspirations to be an NCAA regional host and get back to 500 in league play after winning their first SEC series last weekend. Gould's 2-1. Shoemaker fights it off. It's 2-2.
It's probably in the back of Peja Gould's mind that the top 4 hitters in the Gators lineup have the opportunity to end this game with just 1 swing. The amount of production that they have via the home run ball. Coming into this game, top 4 in the lineup had 50 of their 77.
2-1 or 2-2 rather, is a laser beam down the left field line. Stays the same count.
And the rally caps are on and they're ready to go.
Gators trying to find a way in the home 7th. 2-2 is flown in the air to foul ground. Barbery's over and couldn't track it. New life for Taylor Shoemaker. That looked like a sure out with Nadia Barbery giving chase.
And we've seen this before already on Friday night. Some good defensive grabs into that camera well, but Barbery, I know, upset she wasn't able to make that grab for her pitcher.
So still a 2-2 to Shoemaker from Gould. That counts full. A drama-filled leadoff at bat for Taylor Shoemaker. Payoff pitch. Shoemaker arcs one out of play. Stays the same count. Gators took game 1 2-0 despite being out hit. Mississippi State season high in hits yesterday took game 2. And game 3 in the rubber match has come down to the bottom of the 7th. One of the best arms against a good hitter. Shoemaker got plucked. Winning run is on base for Florida.
That curveball just with a little bit too much sauce on it. Hits the elbow of Shoemaker and she's fired up.
Gators, the rally caps, rally visors flipped upside down. Trying to pull off this series in the 7th. One of their captains, Jocelyn Erickson, will come to the plate. First pitch. Erickson, a big fly to left field, but not enough to get out of the yard. Bernardini's in, and there's one down. Once again, it's Kelly Cahalan.
A big out for Peja Gould. We've seen Jocelyn homer already this series.
First pitch. Cahalan fights this off the handle. It's 0-1. Had what was eventually the game-winning home run on Friday. Florida's only hit was the only one that mattered in that game. We're out hit 5-1. It was Peja Gould who was spinning a no-hitter until Cahalan knocked one out in right center on a laser beam. 0-1. Cahalan gets a hold of this and deposits one in shallow center field. Winning run is at second for Florida.
It's just a good piece of hitting from Cahalan, a patient at bat. Going after that first pitch of the at bat, and now seeing a changeup and just staying the course, keeping her barrel through on the outer half. And now that I take another look, that pitch was on the chalk. She does a good job at getting her barrel around and just driving into shallow center field.
Madison Walker will step to the plate. Had the game-winning RBI single in game 2 of the Missouri series. Scheduled to appear in this moment. Instead, Coach Walton will bring in a pinch hitter. This is the South Carolina transfer, Julia Desiderio. Was brought in a pressure spot in Arkansas when they needed runs. She worked a walk. This is a different wrinkle. The Hudson Florida native will step up, playing back at her home state once again. She's played in over 112 games in her career. First and second, first pitch. Desiderio takes up top, 1-0. Gould's 1-0. That's off the handle, ripped foul up at third. Peja Gould entering for the final out of the 6th. Gators going to their bench with 1 out in the inning. Townsend Thomas is on deck. 1-1. Desiderio lasers it up the left field line. Shoemaker gets the green light, rather late red light at third. Bases are loaded. Off the bench, Julia Desiderio loads the bases.
How about the senior coming in and getting a hit off of the Peja Gould? Drives this into left field on a line. A little bit too hard, doesn't get Shoemaker to make it to home, but a really good at-bat, a mature at-bat by the senior in her pinch hit appearance.
Bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th. And for Townsend Thomas, you got to imagine the mentality is just get this to the outfield and win the game.
Exactly, with 1 out, I think a little poke, anything will do the job.
Mississippi State tied it off of a sacrifice fly in the top of the 7th. Florida a chance to return the favor and win the series. Coach Walton taking this opportunity to talk to his team. Taryn Mowat-McKinney, her 3rd season, came out for a conversation. Samantha Ricketts joined her as well. Gators a chance at a top 25 series win at home. Townsend Thomas will come to the plate.
Gators getting on their feet. Try to give some energy back to the team.
Thomas 0 for 3 is a strikeout victim today, once to Faircloth. The only run that matters is Shoemaker at 3rd. First pitch. Thomas bounces it up the line. That's a foul ball. Well, good news for Florida. 2 outs to work with. It's worth noting McClellan is on deck for Florida, not Eva Brown because of the earlier substitution.
Townsend with no hits at all this weekend.
0-1. Thomas chops one shallow to short. The throw home is not in time. Florida wins. This will go to review. The series is on the line. So this will go to video review. Let's see. Crowd thinks she's safe.
I don't think there's any evidence to overturn this call, but the decision by Shoemaker to continue to run through home plate so that a slide doesn't slow her down looks like one to be critical in this moment.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Runner is safe. Ball game.
This series belongs to the Florida Gators. Townsend Thomas, an RBI ground out to seal it. Florida wins 5-4.
How about this being Townsend Thomas's first hit of the weekend, and it ended up being in walk-off fashion. Florida Gators proved to be resilient after losing last night's game. Come in today, punching early. We're challenged by the Bulldogs, but come out and stay the course to clinch this ball game and the series.
An RBI fielder's choice from Townsend Thomas, and the Florida Gators win the series in this Sunday rubber match. For our entire crew, led by Jeremy Otter, alongside Alicia Ocasio, I'm Ryan Urquhart saying so long from Gainesville. An all-time classic between Florida and Mississippi State. Comes up Gators, Shoemaker scores, and they'll celebrate with another series victory. Enjoy the rest of your Easter. Have a wonderful Sunday.